now that you bring that up, they could. Oh my gosh, they could totally rehash freaking Bayonetta, and when he says objection, he like slows down people. That could work. I also, again, as a music person, I want Ace Attorney music in Smash. I think that would be amazing. And like, come on, like, imagine hearing "Hold It" or "Objection" as he does his final smash, and then like the final smash is the person being ruled guilty or something like that.
Dude, that'd be a good idea.
And then the map could be like the courthouse with like people in the background.
That's not bad. And it could be like the judge, like in the middle or something like that.
Yeah. Ooh. Or that could even be like a part of his final smash too.
Right.
It could work. It could work. Any other characters coming to your mind?
Is Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil in there?
No.
Could he go in there? He could be another gunner.
Yeah, they could. Like I said, there's multiple franchises that they still haven't gone from. I wouldn't be surprised if they went with Resident Evil. Especially because they've worked with Capcom before.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's how they got Mega Man in.
You think Mortal Kombat characters will be able to, like Sub-Zero or Scorpion?
That's always a big debate with Smash fans is can Mortal Kombat get in? And the thing is, honestly, I could see them getting in, but I don't think Mortal Kombat fans want them getting in, knowing that most of the characters won't essentially be like their character in Mortal Kombat.
That's true. Because like Mortal Kombat is like all about gore, like ripping characters apart.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Smash, there's not even a single like drop of blood shown.
Yeah, like, even if you're punching a dog, what's her name, Isabel?
Oh yeah, Isabel.
Yeah. I can't imagine like Scorpion like throwing an entire hook into like poor Isabel.
Yeah, which is why I find it funny that people want Doom Guy in the game.
Doom Guy,
or Doom Slayer, whichever one you want to say. Yeah. I mainly refer to him as Doom Guy, but yeah, it's like, how would you incorporate him knowing the violence of their game, Like, look at every single character that's in Smash right now, and it's like, for the most part, their games, like, if they include violence, it's not, like, graphic violence,
True.
Like, not even, like, the characters I want, like, Nier Automata doesn't include anything like that,
So I mean, like, except for that one scene where Nines gets his legs ripped apart, but other than that...
Yeah, but, like, other than that, it's like there's not much like this. But, like, on the level of Mortal Kombat and Doom, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Alright, let me see. So, I mentioned that Pokemon already has 8 reps, but here's the thing. I want this character, and honestly... I think it's inevitable that we get another Pokemon rep. Just because I think they want to promote Sword and Shield more, or like just Pokemon in general,
Yeah.
And, a lot of people were coming up with different options, and a lot of people don't think this character would be as interesting, but Rillaboom from Gen 8, which was like the final evolution of the grass type, I think it would be interesting to have, because you add another heavy, because, there's... I don't want to say there's not that many heavies in the game, but like, compared to like the rest of the roster, you might want to add more heavies just for, uniqueness and diversity.
Yeah.
And also the thing I'm looking at is for Gen 6, they added Greninja. Gen 7, they added Incineroar. So it's like you need a grass type to complete that. So, and if you're going with a Gen 8 Pokemon, the only grass type I can see them doing is Rillaboom. And you could get a unique moveset out of him because... you can involve his drums, his wooden hammers, his final smash could involve Gigantamaxing and stuff like that. Honestly, like, I would want to see it in just because I think it would be interesting to have that Pokemon in, but also because I think it's inevitable that Pokemon gets another rep in. And speaking of getting another rep in, Street Fighter, I think you can already guess, Dom, just because when you think of Street Fighter, there's arguably 3 characters you think of, and 2 of them are already in Smash.
I don't know know who they are, but I think I know who the third person you're talking about, who was recently added into a different game.
Yeah.
Is it Chun-Li?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the character I was referring to, Ryu and Ken. And honestly,
okay.
I was surprised when they added Ken because if you think about it, I honestly might argue that Chun-Li is more notable, I guess is the word you want to say, than Ken. At least, when it comes to people thinking about Street Fighter, you usually think of Ryu, of course, first. And then it's kind of a toss-up between Chun-Li and Ken. But I was surprised that they added Ken because I was like, if they were going to add another Street Fighter rep, I thought they would have added a more unique character because Ken ended up just being an echo fighter of Ryu.
Right.
Whereas Chun-Li would have been more unique because, that's more involving, like, kicks.
Right.
And stuff like that. But, like, I think that's a different type of brawler you get with Chun-Li because, like I said, it involves, like, a bunch of different kicks and, again, they can just pull from the Street Fighter games for her moveset,
Yeah.
The only issue I see here with Chun-Li being added is that they're, like, in terms of spirits, music, and, like, meat costumes and stuff, and stuff like that, they already have a lot in there because of Ryu and Ken, So I don't know what they do for that. But honestly, I would be interested in seeing her in there just because, like I said, that's a different type of brawler you add in. And again, it's more unique than Ken just being an echo to Ryu as he is in game. Any other fighters you would want to see in, Don?
I think who would be a good one? I think Raiden will also be good for Metal Gear, but I'm pretty sure I already mentioned them. Who else would be? Ratchet and Clank. I feel like that could be a perfect duo.
Like how Pyro and Mythra are right now, how you can swap between them, or would you want it different?
Like you have them both. Ratchet and Clank in the.
No, I'm saying would you, when you play them, would you want it to be like how Pyro and Mythra are right now, where you switch between, or would you rather it be like Ice Climber, where the two characters are together and fight together?
They're together and they fight together.
Ah, okay.
Because although in Ratchet and Clank, I'm pretty sure you could play both of them differently, and they both have their both own abilities. I feel like you would have Ratchet as the gunner, and Clank as the support, the defense. I guess.
Okay.
Another character would be Sly Cooper.
Oh, Sly.
And in the game, as I don't know. I guess maybe as an ultimate where they all come in and beat up the characters or something like that.
Yeah, I get you.
I feel like that could be a good idea, but I mean, Sly Cooper, I think is a. I don't want to say it's a dying franchise, but I feel like it's a dying franchise.
I mean, true. I mean, that's why people don't think they're ever gonna get another representative from what's it called, F-Zero with Captain Falcon, just because they haven't had a game in all these years,
Right.
So people don't think that's likely, It could have. I mean, that's just the one thing that's always tough to determine is how much does Nintendo care about relevancy when they're adding these characters in or choosing the characters for Sakurai to add in.
Right.
Because it was Banjo wasn't that relevant in terms of the current time, but they still added him in because they knew he was a fan favorite. But then they refused to add. Well, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know much about him, but all the people that want Gino in, it's that that game was is so old now that people are it doesn't even make sense to add him in anymore.
Right.
Which is why they just add him as a Mii costume.
That's true. I feel like for a Mii costume, they could add in Sackboy. From
Little Big Planet. That one could work. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they put Phoenix Wright in as a Mii fighter, just because, as we mentioned, kind of tough to make a moveset for him. But again, I still believe they can do it. But I wouldn't be too mad at a Mii costume for him.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want a Bandana Waddle Dee also in from the Kirby series. I've never. I don't think I've played a Kirby series, so I'm not familiar with it. But like,
Right.
I've seen like in Smash Flash how they made the character play, you know. And like I've
Right.
also seen like just like glimpses of the character, and I just think he would be interesting, especially because instead of like a sword fighter, he has a spear, so you could do a lot of like projectile based stuff with the spear.
Right.
And again, it gives Kirby another rep, which is always interesting, especially like for like the lesser represented franchises in the game, you know.
Yeah.
And then another thing I would do, so Echo Fighters are essentially, you know, they're almost copies of a different character in game. Like they fight similarly, but they're like they also add some uniqueness to the character, so it's not just a full clone of it, you know.
Right.
So like Ken's a Echo Fighter to Ryu, but like he still has things that make him different from Ryu. Daisy is an Echo Fighter to Peach. Dark Pit is an Echo Fighter to Pit, you know, stuff like that. And it's always one thing I talked about with Kevin is just I wouldn't be opposed if they did a DLC pass where it's just Echo Fighters, you know.
Right.
And like they just add in characters that people want, but instead of having to create like these whole new movesets for them, they just you know, make them similar to a different character that they like could echo, you know.
Yeah.
Like you know, people want Dixie Kong in, but I think she would fit better as just an echo to Diddy Kong because they play similarly.
Yeah.
I think Dry Bowser being added in as an echo to Bowser would be cool. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially because if they don't want to, after Fighter Pass 2, if they don't unleash a Fighter Pass 3, like if they want to take a break from it, I would honestly just say Echo Fighter Pass because, again, you don't have to put that much effort into it, and then they can use that time to start working for a Fighter Pass 3 if they want to.
Right. Interesting.
Any other choices, mate?
I feel like I've already mentioned this, but the Skullgirls thingy. That like the characters already have their very own, like skill sets, like for defense, like ultimates and all that stuff. It'd be a perfect, you know, and it's from a game too, from an indie studio. So I think it'd be an absolute banger to add them in.
And it would always be cool to see the indie scene get some rep.
Yeah. I feel like. Do you think they could add in Scott Pilgrim into the mix? Considering technically he's a video game character?
That would be interesting to see. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Because I'm pretty sure, like, in, you know, the Scott Pilgrim series, even though it is technically a comic book series, maybe that could work.
Yeah, maybe he can work it.
Godzilla? Just Godzilla like that?
I don't know if they could add Godzilla just because of his size.
But like, they could make him like miniature Godzilla. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It sounds stupid. Like I feel like they could maybe somehow work around it.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Godzilla would be too big, and I don't know how well they would be able to shrink him down. But overall, you know, I think we can agree that it's just always cool to see games get represented in Smash, and you know that's what just Smash is all about. You know, is bringing all these franchises into one. You know.
Yeah.
But so, anything left from you, Don?
No, that's it for me.
All right then. So we'll close off here. We thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Rule 34 podcast. As always, remember, the door is always open for anyone and everyone to come in and talk about anything and everything with us. I've been your host, Jack, joined by my fellow co-host,
Dominic.
We thank y'all for joining us, and remember, if it exists, we have an opinion on it. Thank you. We'll see you next week for another episode.